What's going on, everyone? Alex Da Silva, Ruby Rose, Happy as Larry Group, Mr. Lion. I hope you are well and having a wonderful Friday. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let's get cracking. How are you? I hope you are well today. It's been a very interesting week. We are getting ready and very busy for our first event, which is going to be an ICAD event here in London, and it's going to be the 6th, 7th and 8th of May. So we've got loads and loads of stuff to do, and it's been really good fun. It's been nerve-wracking because we have to prepare for 2 talks and a live podcast with Janice Winehouse, which I mentioned before, and preparing for all of this it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. I kind of say nerve-wracking because I like things, I love doing things properly. I want to make sure that everything goes as it's supposed to, and I want to make sure that we don't miss anything. It's been a lot of evening work because I do my normal job full-time, during the day, and, but it's been great because I don't see things as work. I don't see things as, this is a chore. This is actually really good fun. And what's your passion? What do you like to do? I was talking to a friend today, and I've got to give him a shout out because he took his first CrossFit class this morning as a coach, and I was his first one-to-one as well. We did some kind of personal training together, and it was awesome, man. We trained together anyway, but it was nice because he was coach and I was kind of the student, and it was nice. It was really, really great. I take my hat off to him, and I said we were having a conversation about how beautiful life is and how we change so much, often in such a short space of time, and we've been through a very similar journey in our lives. And I remember when he first came in, or when I first met him, he wasn't in a good place at all. He's actually my podcast, so you can even listen to his story, and it's incredible. It's absolutely beautiful, in fact, to see a man change his life the way that he did, and to be such a humbled individual, fun, someone who's positive, and somebody who works hard, who's honest, and really deserves these things. Really deserve these things. So Kev, you're an absolute ledge, man, and keep going, keep pushing through this stuff. And this is where hard work, shows its true value. Going through these things, really pushing through the tough times, and in a very short space of time that we've known each other, just over 2 years, his life's completely changed. My life's completely changed. And and look, we have you. Which is absolutely incredible. So the topic today, I want to talk about spiritual growth because it was one of the things that we ended up talking about. And, it's an entry one because sometimes for some people they're like, well, what do you mean spiritual growth from a body? That's it. We die, we go off, and that is that. But I think history and sciences has proven otherwise now. And I think people are so much more open to understanding that this is clothing, but so is our body. This is also clothing as well. There is something a lot bigger and a lot deeper inside of us. That keeps us, that keeps us going, and it's phenomenal. And I think one of the things that we work towards, and I'll mention this again, our 3 key principles, the things that we always focus on, is a healthy mind, healthy body, and healthy spirit. So spiritual growth for us is key. We help people to grow spiritually, and not from a religious perspective. I want to make that very clear. It's more from within yourself. So you can grow and be happy, and you can grow and feel fulfilled in your life, wherever your path may be. And a lot of the times we can get quite lost in what that path is, and we just tend to kind of just follow what everybody else is doing, and you've kind of heard, we're all like sheep. But what's happening now is, and what we try to teach and what we try to push is for people to break away from that. What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to become? And in order for you to do that, you need to connect with yourself spiritually. You need to connect with yourself really deep inside. And if you think about everything that I discussed throughout this week, we looked at asking for help, when there's something wrong, speaking to somebody and saying, look, I'm struggling, something isn't right, whether it's a professional, whether it's a friend, a doctor, whatever it may be, but reaching out and then understanding and putting daily practices into place so you can start to make those positive changes every single day. And then getting honest with yourself, understanding what needs to be changed, what you need to look at. And then we're looking at the root of the problem and opening Pandora's box. And remember what I said, like being a tree, in order for you to have great foundations, you need to have firm roots. You need to have healthy roots. So you need to look and dig deep and get rid of all the stuff that isn't positive, all the poisonous stuff in your life. And that means going really, really deep in. Then we're forming new beliefs. It's okay, so who do we want to become? Who do you want to be every single day? And actioning those changes every single day, making sure that we keep up this momentum and that we keep moving one way, which is forward. We don't keep looking backwards, because those things can't ever be changed. And I had a very interesting conversation with somebody where they said to me, how can you even prove the past even happened? And that sat on me and I went, oh man, that's deep. That's a completely different conversation, but that's true. How can you prove the past even exists? You can't, unless you've got it recorded, which nowadays isn't hard, right? And then we talked about learning to love yourself, which I love that part. It's something that I think often we get so used to pain that when it comes to us actually loving ourselves, we don't trust it. And I'm kind of paraphrasing a quote that I saw this morning, so this isn't all my words, and I like to be honest. But I loved it because it's so true. Often we get so used to living in that muck, in that painful place, that when we get introduced to happiness, fulfillment, love, kindness, self-love, self-care, things about us, we often start questioning it and feeling, hang on, I don't deserve this. Like, oh, this sounds too good to be true, which is the usual word, which is all rubbish. We truly deserve these things, and we now get to that next phase of our growth and our development, which is then growing spiritually, and that's when we really starts to get good, because as you see the phases that I've taken you through, it's really going step by step, taking you on this journey on a long time, it's a long-term journey. This is a life journey where you are constantly working on yourself. And people may have heard about the onion. We're peeling back these layers, and when people begin to put these practices into place, often it takes time, because we're here for a lifetime, whatever our lifetime may be. So the lifetime is learning. It isn't about looking at things as a chore, but looking at things as, I deserve this, I want to do this, I make the decision to do these things. So you welcome these things as a part of something that you deserve. And when you're looking at it like that, things don't then become a chore every day. It just becomes a must-have, which is where we want to be. And I think one of the things which I found so beautiful, I mentioned this the other day on one of my other videos about a gentleman that did a talk, and I could see the peace, he's kind of coming to that peaceful part in his life, and that's something that I work towards. Life isn't perfect, because there are things that we can't control, people, places, things, which I've often, which is very true. But what I have learned is, if I allow myself to get caught up in those things, if I allow those people, places, or things to affect me, then this is my responsibility. So working on your spiritual growth is a continuous journey, but it's such a beautiful journey, because it is really then putting yourself first, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is. It's putting yourself first. So look, have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing day, evening, wherever you are in the world. As always, thank you for watching, for being part of our journey. Yes, and for you being part of this video every day. I know. So listen, guys, be amazing, be fantastic, be phenomenal. Comment below if you need help or you would like us to do something, then let's do it. Let's do it together. But listen, thank you, as always, for being part of our Happy as Larry family, our Happy as Larry community. And let's leave it there. We'll speak to you again very soon. Take care.